Welcome to Across the Whoniverse, a Doctor Who marathon podcast. I'm your friendly neighborhood Time Lord Chels.
I'm your Muppet of a Time Lord Paige.
And y'all, we are joined by a very special companion, the patron saint, future co-host of this show if my bullying works. Sharai, welcome. Introduce yourself to the listeners, all of your 5011 podcasts, and everything you do.
Thank you for having me on this very, very special podcast because we need more Who and we need it by not dudes. And so I'm excited to be here for the pilot episode. So I am a little chaotic. I definitely have a few podcasts. Chels is like a patron independent guest on almost all of them. My oldest one is A Nightmare on Fierce Street. You can find that on Instagram and Blue Sky. We have a lovely Patreon. I also have Blurty Massacre, which I co-host with Zero Gravity. She's cooler than me, so you probably know her if you know anybody in the horror sphere. That's at Blurty Massacre on Instagram and Blue Sky as well. We also have a lovely Patreon that's very affordable, $3 and $6 tiers. Get on it before we raise those prices like we're supposed to. And you can also find me on Gated, which is a podcast I co-host with Kat from Girl That's Scary, where we talk about Beyond the Gates, because sometimes the horror is marriage on a daytime TV show.
It is true. And Sharai, you're one of my favorite people because I'm in one of your Discords. I don't know which one because I famously do not read, but you've been so good to me in all of these. You've made me a Drag Race channel. You made me a Beyond the Gates channel, and you made me a Doctor Who channel because I'm pathological. This is a horror Discord, y'all.
That's a supportive friend.
Listen, my thing is the genre umbrella is very large, larger than most people will allow. And so, Doctor Who is definitely sci-fi. Get it in there.
It's definitely horror.
Gates,
yeah.
Listen, people are going to die Beyond the Gates. It's a thriller.
A domestic thriller.
It's just fun.
Drag Race is a horror story.
Listen.
It can be.
Look, Rue needs to sashay away. Just saying. And so...
Raja needs to rise and become host.
It's been time. Please, anybody.
But while we're here, why don't you tell us your history with Doctor Who? Where did you discover this show? How did it suck you in and control your life? Because as the listeners, they don't know this yet. Between your Discord and me and Paige discovering that we both love Doctor Who after decades of knowing each other and so much friendship, I feel like that's how the podcast was born, between you and Paige.
I love that. I'm honored. This is funny because I was just telling the friend I'm staying with about how I got into Doctor Who because she also apparently likes Doctor Who. So we have to watch something before I leave now. But I was late to it. People kept telling me I would love Doctor Who because I'm a nerd. And I also apparently had the scarf. I just thought it was a cool scarf because I wear a lot of black clothes as a stage manager in college and grad school. And I was like, this will give me a pop of color. And hey, nerd, I think you should watch the show. I'm like, what show? I don't know. Maybe I will like it. Maybe I won't. It's something to do. So I did not watch it in undergrad when all my friends who were also nerds were like, you should watch it. I didn't discover it until my last December of grad school. So 2015, I had just watched Jessica Jones. So I was like, I see this David Tennant people seem to love. I'm going to actually watch more of his stuff.
That was your introduction?
Yeah. So I started Doctor Who, but I'm a completionist. I started with Eccleston, obviously. So it's fun that I'm here for my first episode of Doctor Who I've ever seen. Because Rose was my first episode. Because Netflix back then had New Who all the way up until I think Matt Smith's last season in 2015.
Probably.
So yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Because I had to track down Capaldi's first season in the most random places like Daily Motion and some other shit that probably was not finished.
Trust me, I had my friend who would send me community episodes the minute after they finished airing, sending me the Put Locker links and Daily Motion. He also did that for Doctor Who as well and every other TV show we love. Charles, you're also a patron saint of this. You don't know it yet.
Put Locker used to save lives.
Well, it shouldn't be so hard to find the show.
Should not.
Listen.
Should not.
And now it's even harder.
Yeah.
Right? I give the kids Who. This is why they're acting now. They don't have Doctor Who. Open the libraries, open the Who. That's my platform. But
they'd be scared of the AI.
Listen, they would. They'd be like, the doctor said that's bad. Like, let me not talk to the AI anymore. But yeah, I got in deep. That winter I basically marathon. That's the word I'm looking for. I marathoned it. I only took breaks when Bowie died. And because I'd been in Doctor Who so long, I forgot I was in Texas. So when I like had my little decadent like wine and like I ordered some dinner, it could be like Bowie died. I should do something to treat myself. I opened the door to a delivery person who sounded like they were from Texas. I was so confused. I was like, I got a problem. Like I'm not doing well.
You came up for air and realized you were in Texas.
Right. A hard pill to swallow.
It's a bit of a nightmare.
Right. And so yeah, that was my first time encountering Doctor Who, and I've given them so much money for t-shirts and TARDIS dresses and backpacks ever since. I hate that for me, but I love that for them.
We totally get it. So yeah, we are here, as you said, to talk about Series 1, Episode 1, Rose, written by Russell T. Davies. More on him as we just go through this series. Director Keith Boak? I don't know. Sorry, men, I'm not going to pronounce your names correctly. This originally aired March 26, 2005, and it features our ninth Doctor, Rose Tyler, Jackie Tyler, an icon, a legend, and Mickey Smith. And the less we talk about that actor, the better.
Listen.
Yes. Boy, oh boy. I believe in recasting this. All I can say.
Yes.
But let's do a little sonic check-in, a little temperature check. How do we feel about this episode overall? It's been over 20 years. Paige, how do you feel about this?
I think overall it's a really good introduction to the character of the Doctor if people are coming in like and this is the first episode they're ever watching of the show. Especially that like iconic line where he's like, "I'm the Doctor, you're in danger, run." Or like, "Nice to meet you, Rose," whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's just so ham, especially like 9 specifically. I love that introduction. It's also just so 2005, and you can tell they're appealing to a new generation and they're trying to make it like bright and poppy and fun.
Oh yeah, just like even with the opening music being so frenetic, I'm just like, oh, we're
Mhm.
in, we're down. Sharai, how do you feel about this 20 plus year old episode of television?
I somehow love it even more than when I first saw it because, like, again, I am a nerd. I grew up on the Twilight Zone. I love me some kitschy sci-fi. I love me some We Have a Plunger and a Dream. I'm gonna watch it every fucking time. Like, and so-
Those Smallville special effects really are so comforting and so soothing somehow. It's
They
just like
are.
they
They are
are. It's just like, oh, we're not spending money on the right things anymore.
No.
right. And like even all of their sets for this episode is like you're just in a corner of London. You got to like be quiet for a few minutes, and you don't have any permits. I can
No.
see you. And I miss that spirit because like I mean not to get too far ahead, but like we've definitely seen them with money and without money and with Disney. And we
And the
lose a lot
Disney
of the
money
heart.
did not actually add to the budget. We will get to that in 15 seasons, but we'll get there.
Listen, again, I think that this is a show that works better when you just have people who are like, we want to do some sci-fi, whether that's because rent is due or because we want to be here. Again, we got a plunger, we got a dream. We're gonna pretend the doctor thinks this is scary, and we're gonna like keep the sensibilities. Suspend your disbelief, kids. It's better.
Exactly. We have actors seemingly fighting a mannequin arm in a dream right now. There's some pocket lint. That's all you need. Just
That's all you
fun
need,
banter. So,
right?
yes, let's dive into the plot. Opening credits are very 2005 and yet so comforting because I love opening credits. Like, everyone bring them back and they have to be at least a minute and a half long. Gosh, I'm sorry. Just the wide shot of Earth as we zoom into a London apartment and we see an alarm clock beep at 7:30 in the morning, and we meet our companion, 19-year-old Rose Tyler, and she kisses her hot mom Jackie goodbye before rushing out the door to work. And this is where I love the little montage with the frenetic music as we have a little bit about her day. She's bouncing around at work, going around the city, seeing her boyfriend Mickey on her lunch break, and this is the one time he seems really cute until he speaks, like most men, to be fair.
Very true.
Listen, listen. Ursula took the wrong person's voice in The Little Mermaid. I've always felt that.
Then Rose is at work. She's got to leave, but then somebody gives her the lottery money to take to some coworker, Wilson, and she got to like, Sharai, this is why you are here. The girl goes down to the basement and it gets the scary music and goes to investigate. What are we thinking in this moment? Is it like, girl, run, go?
Get out.
Girl, you in danger. Is what I was thinking
Mhm.
both times. I saw this. Because again, it's just like it's all the cues, and again, it's the creepiest basement. Like I'm like, what kind of mall is just like go to our murder basement and do me a favor? Like this is. Have you not seen? Are you afraid
Exactly.
of the
That's a
dark?
red
Like,
flag. That's
right?
a red flag.
Where's HR?
Exactly. And as she's just wandering around the murder basement looking for Wilson, all these mannequins slowly start like surrounding her and moving. And as they're getting ready to kill her, like arms are fully raised, this mystery man just grabs her hand and tells her to run. And they both somehow run to the lift slash elevator, depending on which continent you're on. And these mannequins just be chasing them and they narrowly escape. Like this mystery man fully pulls a plastic arm off this mannequin and then they get out of there. This gets wild.
That's what gets me is that the mannequins fully start moving and Rose is like, who's pulling a prank on me? I feel like out of there immediately.
Out of there. I do not have friends that would prank me like this.
No.
No, far from. I really like this because again, you have to find that rhythm and you have to like pull us in because this is a lot of people, especially in America, are like, Doctor what? Doctor who? I don't know that. And so you have to be like, hey, here's the energy, here's the vibe. It's gonna be a lot of this, but we're gonna like finesse it a little bit more after this one. And so I was like, I too would run with him. I too would go with him. And also, he's starting to give the hints of sassy doctor that we forget about because we didn't have him nearly long enough. But he's
Oh,
by far the sassiest doctor we've ever had.
yes, absolutely.
I love a sassy smartass. Like, that's the way to my heart. And
Right.
this sassy smartass, as they're like escaping this elevator, he's like, these mannequins are living plastic, aka some sort of auton. Hopefully, I'm saying this right, y'all. Again, I don't read. And then is like, oh, who's Wilson? And he's like, ooh, Wilson's dead. And then they eventually get to the ground floor, and he explains that he's going to go set off a bomb to destroy some relay device and hopefully stop the creatures, and just tells her to run for her life, and eventually introduces himself as the doctor. And Rose is like barely 20 feet away or something, and the building explodes. And then she decides to run past this blue box with a plastic arm in hand all the way home. Y'all, I would have more questions. Like a cab, but also maybe call 911 or whatever the equivalent is over there. We're in
If you
America.
see,
Sorry, y'all. I don't know things.
if you see something blow up, you say something. I feel like that's just kind of standard.
Call the firefighters at least.
At least some of them are high, so you can like multitask. To be like, oh, hey, that's on fire. Also, are you single?
Exactly,
Um,
because by the end of this
Mhm.
episode, you're wishing she has a new boyfriend.
oh, Mickey.
Right?
Oh, Mickey, you not fine. And then we just like cut to she's at the couch at home, and Jackie is just on the phone gossiping with everybody, trying to get Rose interviews, secure some payouts, any
That
sort
would
of
be
comp.
you.
I
Let's be real.
Jackie is the PR manager. I am Jackie Tyler in this, an honor, a
Yes.
privilege. I love her.
I
She
love it.
knows exactly what to do. I too would sell ridiculous stories to tabloids for money.
And you'd be like, who can we sue immediately?
Exactly. I am litigious.
Yes.
And like as all this happens, like Mickey just decides to come check on his girlfriend, knock on the door, but his whole plan is just to drag her to the bar to watch some sort of sports game. And she's like, nah, but you should go. And also take this arm and throw it away for me. Gang, you just escaped a like building that exploded and like an attack. Would you want to go to a bar and watch sports game?
No.
Yeah, Rose should have been doing better.
This is red flag number one.
Hmm.
Listen, this is why she's like, this alien in a box seems like a great way out of this. Because look at
I'll
her
take
life,
whatever I can get.
right? She's a waitress with a bad boyfriend. I too would like hop in that box.
Exactly. And like the next morning, Rose is just chilling at home because she ain't got a job. And Jackie, Mother of my dreams is already on the phone trying to secure compensation for Rose and also find her a new job. Jackie is the momager that Kris Jenner wishes she could be. And then,
Hmm.
as all this is happening, Rose hears a noise from the cat flap, something Paige needs at home, and like investigates and like all the way on the floor spots the doctor on the other side through the flap. What would you guys do if you just see this random stranger who saved you from a like an attack like through a doggy door?
How did he find me? Is my
How?
Right.
first question.
Especially because he blew up your place of employment, literally. And so
Yeah.
it's like, is he coming to finish the job? Am I like the
Exactly.
witness he needs to get rid of?
But you know what? He's like, I'm tracing the signal from the plastic arm and I'm gonna knock on your head to make sure that you're real. So, of course, she invites him inside for some coffee and then just tells Jackie that it's just part of the inquiry. And Jackie, my favorite moment of the episode is when she's flirting with the doctor. She's like, I'm in my dressing gown. There's a strange man in my bedroom. Well, anything could happen. And the doctor at every point is like, nope, nope, not gonna happen. But because I am also the doctor is a nosy bitch. And as Rose is making them coffee, he's just wandering around, like reading the books, being like, ooh, that's sad. Reading a magazine. Oh, that's an alien. That's never gonna work. And then checks himself out in the mirror, implying that he recently regenerated. And he's like, ooh, what's with these ears? Next thing you know, he's nosing about too much, and the plastic arm jumps out and attacks him and tries to choke him. And as he is fighting it, Rose just looks and thinks he's just goofing around. But he's struggling and then accidentally tosses the arm at Rose and it starts trying to kill her. And then next thing you know, Sonic Screwdriver is deactivating it. Y'all, this is a lot for a morning coffee date.
They're doing full slapstick comedy.
Right? Like, we had it so good, we didn't even know. We didn't even know.
Hmm.
All you need is like a plastic arm from a store and a dream. That's all you need to be terrified on this show. You do not need Disney dollars.
This entire episode was funded by thrift stores and viewers like you. Like, literally.
They saved those PBS dollars from the 90s and we're like, you know what? We are going to get her these jeans, this pink jacket, and that's all she needs to be an icon.
A plastic arm.
Right?
That's it.
Right.
And you know what they do instead? Instead of telling Jackie anything, they just boot scoot out of that apartment and we get a great walk and talk because Rose is like demanding answers. This is what she should have done last night. But you know what? It's never too late to demand answers about who are you? What's going on? And you told me if I go to the police, people are going to get killed. Well, you know what? I'm going to go to the police unless you tell me everything. And I'm like, she's smart. Blackmail this man. And then he's like, okay, I'm the doctor. These plastic creatures are after me because the world revolves around me, not you. And you were just in the way. And he's like, the living plastic is just trying to overthrow the human race and claim Earth because you know what? It's just messy here. And you know what? He's right.
He's never lied. Literally. He called it. And what do you say to that other than yeah?
Sorry, I was laughing way too hard. He just like explains that he can feel the earth spinning and its rotations around the sun, and that's who he is. And so she just needs to go home and forget about him. She starts walking away a little bit, and then she like turns around to run back to him, and he's already disappeared, and so did that blue box behind him. And I know this is like so much exposition for the story and for the viewers because Doctor Who hadn't been around for gosh, it's been like 16 years since the show and like almost a decade since the TV movie. So a lot of people, this is their first interaction with Doctor Who, and but I love it. It really establishes their chemistry, and I love good banter. Again, more good banter on this show, less Disney dollars.
They have immediate chemistry between Nine and Rose. Like rewatching, I can really tell this time. I'm like, oh, even more than Rose and Ten
Mm-hmm.
or any other characters, like they just immediately hit it off.
This was the first time that again, this was my first episode, but this is one of the few times we don't see a companion and the doctor immediately lock eyes and be like, love interest. It's very much like survival. What's going on? I'm confused. Who are you? Why are you saying
Yeah.
these things? Because, like,
Just the fact that they're interrogating each other.
yeah, Right? This is the beginning of the rom-com that most people don't know they need, because it's always just like, well, Sandra Bullock and Matthew McConaughey locked eyes, and now we're just going to go ahead and do this for 90 minutes. I'm like, no, make them work. Make them be people first.
Exactly. And that's why I love Nine and Rose. They just work. But y'all, we get the funniest moment in the history of the internet because Rose hops over to Mickey's apartment to use his computer and does a fake Google search of the name Doctor. Everybody Google the word doctor right now, see what happens. Because, girl, that's hilarious.
That
And then
makes
Right.
me think of Bella in Twilight, where she just Googles vampire. Like, girl, you gotta get more specific.
so good. And then it just gets better because she also searches Dr. Living Plastic with no results. And then, you know what? She strikes gold because she Googles Dr. Blue Box.
There we go.
And then there's like a blurred wanted poster that vaguely looks like Christopher Eccleston. And it just says, contact Clive. Would y'all contact Clive if you saw like a blurred out, like wanted poster of a man?
I
Ooh.
I would not, especially because you could tell the doctor's trying to serve face in this Photoshop photo that they keep putting in all these random pictures. It again, this was made with a dream and a belief that Doctor Who would just come back. Because it's the same photo.
There wasn't even Photoshop here.
It's like a ransom letter. They just cut his head out of a photo and started pasting it on the shit and was like, look, it's the doctor. I'm like, oh, that's why he wanted to quit. He didn't feel safe.
And then it just gets funnier because Mickey drives Rose to Clive's house and she doesn't want Mickey to come inside with her. And she's all like, he's got like a wife and a kids. And Mickey, the one time he's like, no, he's kind of weird. This is weird. You're meeting a stranger from the internet. I mean, this is how I also met Sharai, was a stranger on the internet. So, look what
It was a
happens.
different time back then.
It's a different time. But
wasn't
I
as
do
quick.
love that she leaves Mickey in the car and he tries to act all tough. And then Clive's kid answers the door and it's just this, like, what, 12-year-old or something, be like, Dad, it's one of your nutters. And I'm just like, that kid is so real. And y'all, Clive, I feel like I would want to invite Clive to brunch because he's a researcher, he's a gossiper, he's obviously a librarian. He's been tracking this doctor,
He's an
believing it to be
archivist.
exactly.
Yep.
A receipt keeper in the training. So, yeah,
Exactly. We aspire to be the Clive, the receipt
we do.
person in our lives. But Clive is like, it might be a title passed from like father to son because this guy just shows up across political diaries and conspiracy theories and ghost stories. And then he just be showing her pictures throughout history from JFK's assassination to Titanic, where he seemingly prevented a family from getting on the ship. And he explains the doctor is a legend woven throughout history. He brings the storm in his wake and has one constant companion, death. He says
That
if she's seen
hurts.
him, then they're all in danger. He then tells her that he thinks he's an immortal alien from another world. And you know what, Clive? You did good.
He clocked him.
A great way to do exposition, because again, a lot of Americans, I'm assuming at this time, were not going to go on the internet and be like, what is Doctor Who? What have I missed? They were just going to be like, okay, Clive, thank you.
We were asking Jeeves. We were using Dogpile still at this time. We were not using real internet searches. We were watching PBS. Everybody go donate to PBS. So you probably saw a Doctor Who rerun there.
Yeah.
But y'all, let's cut to the outside because this is iconic. Mickey just is chilling in the car until he sees a trash bin scooting itself closer to his car. And you know what? He's like, I'm going to get out and investigate, and I'm going to open this trash bin. And it's like, oh, there's nothing inside. Let's close it. And then he goes to close it, and his hands are stuck. And we get some incredible mid-2000s CGI that makes me miss the Smallvilles of the world. And he's just stuck. And next thing you know, the bin throws him in the air and catches him like he's a piece of popcorn and swallows him whole. Again, can we just go back to goofy, bad CG in television?
It's so much cooler than what we're getting now, because now everything's like a video game. And I get how that's cute on the surface, but also it's not memorable. Whereas this, I'm like, that was really bad and fun. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, the new Predator Badlands, I'm just like, I would have played that game. It's simple, but I would have played it. Like,
Girl, you know I'm not watching that.
I got paid, and that's why I ended up seeing it because I was like, no. And then they were like, well, you want to review? I'm like, yes.
Of course. Of course, I will take your monies.
pay me to watch it. That's different.
I can never forget when Mickey turns to plastic, like that image.
I know, because like next thing we know, it's like a cutaway scene, and Rose is returning to the car saying Clive is a nut. And then it just kind of like pans over, and we get this weird plastic version of Mickey. And she's like, let's go get some food, some pizza or Chinese. And he's just like, pizza.
That's a mood.
It is. The two of them, they're off to go get their pizza, and Plastic Mickey starts interrogating her about the doctor. But then he starts glitching a little bit, and Rose finally clocks on to that maybe something's off. Not because he looks different or anything, but because his words be glitching.
She didn't clock that Ken hairline
Right.
he all of a sudden had.
I don't think he's Knuff.
He's
He was
not.
he was a completely different person. And she's like, you want pizza or Chinese? Like, you don't see the hairline, you don't see the clothes that are now part of the body. You did not look at this man, Rose. You do not love this man. Why are you here?
No.
Like,
To be fair, I also have facial blindness with men. To be fair. But then, like, a waiter that we don't see just starts offering them champagne. And I don't know many pizza places that also offer champagne, but I think that should be more of a thing in the United States.
mhm.
And it takes like a few rounds of offering before Plastic Mickey looks up, being like, no. But then he sees the doctor, and the doctor's like, I'm gonna shake up this bottle and shoot a cork into your forehead. And because Mickey is plastic, he just absorbs it and spits out the cork, and it's hilarious. Because then they start throwing hands, and by hands, Mickey's hands turn into like boards, and the doctor and him just go and fight. And it is so goofy and hilarious. The doctor pops his plastic head off his body, but the head is still talking like it's some sort of, oh gosh, what was that, Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark, where it's the girl and her head was cut off? I don't know. This was a 90s thing, kids.
I think it was Goosebumps. 'Cause I'm gonna say the book cover, but I can't
Yeah,
remember
it's
the
like the
title.
blonde, like the blonde head. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was something goofy because R.L. Stein was funny. So it was like the headless whatever of
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
But then Rose, being the only one with common sense, hits a fire alarm so it evacuates all the other patrons of this restaurant, and they're chased out of the building by Headless Mickey, which I think's funny because the doctor is still keeping his head. But y'all, as they're running away from Headless Plastic Mickey, they escape into the back of a courtyard, and they're kind of like locked in there, and it's just some blue wooden box that we've seen in the background a bunch of times. And she's like, let's get out of here. And he's like, no, let's just go hide in here. And then eventually she does run into the blue box and then runs right back out, shocked, running around, circling the box, like, what the fuck is this? And then she goes right back inside because the headless plastic Mickey has caught up to them. And eventually we finally see the TARDIS. He explains that the blue box is the TARDIS and that he's an alien. And he asks, is that all right? And she's like, yes. And he's wiring plastic Mickey's head to the TARDIS controls to try to trace some signal. And Rose is like, wait, is he dead? Why is he dead? Why are you forgetting about my boyfriend? And he's like, no, I am tracing this to something called a Nestine consciousness or whatever, which is the bad guy.
Mm.
Notice she's not upset about Mickey's head melting.
No. She's just
No.
more upset that the doctor forgot about Mickey than Mickey himself, which is kind of
Yeah.
funny.
She's going through the motions. She's like, that's my boyfriend, so I should worry that his head is melting. But
Mm.
also, my heart's not in it. What are you about? Is this a TARDIS? Do what? What?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, the TARDIS locks onto the signal as this head melts, and the box lands nearby, and Rose is shocked to learn that it moves. And she's freaking out that she's going to have to tell Mickey's family that he's dead and is upset about the doctor. And the doctor is defensive, saying if he forgot about Mickey, it's because he's trying to save every other person on Earth, and that does cool them down a little bit. And we get some fun exchanges from Rose, like, if you're an alien, why do you sound like you're from the north? And the doctor's like, lots of planets have a north, which he's got you, gal,
I
That tickles
can't.
me every time.
every single time.
He's a genius. You can't argue that logic.
And he explains that the police box is a disguise from the 50s and that the living plastics loves the earth because we're filled with oil, microplastic, toxins, everything it loves. Y'all, I think it would love it even more in 2025.
I was gonna say,
Look out, we're even more plastic. He says that it needs to stop this by tossing some sort of anti-plastic vial. I don't know. It just looked like Kool-Aid and like a medicine shot glass. I don't know. They need to toss it into the Nestine consciousness. And he's ranting about a big round wheel transmitter he has to find. And he's just like, dang, I wonder where it could be. And the whole time Rose is just like, look behind you. You see the London Eye? Big bright circle right behind you. Bless his heart.
I miss this version of the doctor who is so in his way he can't see the things. That was fun because we get a lot of doctors who are like, I know everything and I'm a genius. I'm going to explain it all to you. Whereas this is a fun gag to be like, I'm looking for this giant circle, turns around. I don't know where it could be, turns back around. She's like, sir, excuse you.
And he's like, what? And she's like, look.
He needs to be humbled more often. We don't get that enough anymore.
Bring back humbling. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I don't like an all-knowing doctor. I like the so smart they're oblivious.
Right? Because that's when he said is, well, when the doctors are at their best, because like again, in the future, it's not always dudes. But when the doctors are at their best, it is because they are a bumbling professor who you kind of want to like hang out with, but also you're like, you might accidentally set the lab on fire. So we need to like make sure an adult is around.
Exactly. And Rose is the adult right now.
And she should be, because again, she's been hanging out with Mickey and Jackie. So like,
I know. She's already been through hell, so she got her street smarts ready. So yeah, she's pointing at the London Eye and it's like, here's the underground entrance. And boom, they find the Nestine's lair, and Rose immediately spots Mickey, who's been kept alive so they can maintain the plastic duplicate. I love that she's mad. It's like, you knew he could have been alive the whole time. She's like, I didn't know, no, you know? She gets hung up on the wrong parts of Mickey being dead or alive, and it's hilarious.
Again, it's proving that she does not really care about this relationship, and I need her to just go ahead and be like, leave.
Exactly. So no, the doctor spots this Nestine consciousness inside a vat, and it's just a funny CG molten lava-like creature. Love it. It looks like a potato head, but lava. And he explains to Rose that he doesn't want to kill it, but wants to give it a chance to like peacefully leave, and seeks out permission from the Nestine to approach. And as the doctor tries to reason with it, two of these little mannequin autons detect the TARDIS, capture it and the doctor, and discover his little vial of anti-plastic. And that makes this little consciousness molten lava guy real mad. And the doctor's trying to explain himself like, it was a last resort trying to kill you with this vial of stuff. But guess what? The Time Lords are these little consciousness dude's enemy. And the doctor, we get our little hints of the Time War. And he's like, I fought in the war, and it wasn't my fault that he couldn't save their world or any of them. And he does yell at Rose to get out as the invasion begins ahead of schedule, because guess what? That thing got pissed off and activated all the little mannequin autons.
Epic. Because again, this is my first episode, so I'm like, oh, we're gonna really do some cool stuff. Oh, he's gonna really be in danger, even though clearly he has to survive. Because I didn't know the gag was he's going to die every so often. I thought it was just like, a recast because the actor left. I didn't know you'd be watching it and it's like, oh no, it's my day. Trauma. So, yeah.
Constant trauma.
Decades of trauma. We need a therapist for Doctor Who. Where's that spinoff? Like the therapist holds your hand as you cry through it. Like
many have tried. I mean, I feel like that's what Donna was a therapist, and it's like, I'm not gonna take your shit.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
She was not gonna do the emotional labor for that man.
Never for a man.
I do love that Rose calls Jackie during all of this. And right as the signal goes off and chaos ensues on the street, we see Jackie watching everything, like shit's going down. Clive and his family are out shopping, and the Autons attack, shooting him dead in front of his wife and son, and people just be getting slaughtered in these streets. Sharai, I feel like this is your genre. Where does this rank on horror, like a horror scale?
I love this because chaos reigned. It was giving me kitschy 50s horror movies and 60s horror movies where attack a picture with women and all that. It was giving me like the brawls of people like just like out in the streets, be like, oh no, zombie apocalypse. I love this sequence. I love this moment. I love that Clive gets it, because we cannot go back to Clive for information. So somebody we met did die. And I'm like, again, you have to kill people in your shows. Stranger Things. You have to.
Yeah, they have to be meaningful deaths. And like Clive gave us so much information, but we saw that he had a family and a seemingly normal life. So it
Yeah.
kind of is sad that this guy who helped Rose along the way passes. Good for you, Clive. You were useful.
Especially because the information he gave her is related to his own demise because she synced up with the doctor.
Literally said, death follows.
Do we think that his wife like picked up on all his work, or she just like threw it all in the garbage?
And
Ooh.
she has 4 kids to worry about. I don't know if she's
True.
got much time for anything else.
She's a single mom who works 2 jobs, who
Yeah.
loves her kids and never stops.
She's like, oh, my husband was so silly. Throw all this
Yeah.
stuff in the garbage.
But here's the funny thing. London, everybody being obliterated by mannequins in the street. This is not what Kim Cattrall was planning. Nothing's gonna stop him now. Doctor taken over by 2 mannequins. TARDIS is out of commission. So Rose jumps into action. She finds an axe. She breaks some chains. She brags about not having a job, having a useless ass boyfriend, and being broke as hell. But she's like, I got a bronze medal in like middle school gymnastics. And she takes that chain, she swings down, she kicks these little mannequins away, frees the doctor, and whoopsie, accidentally kicks the anti-plastic vial into the Nestine's vat. The Nestine alien dies an agonizing death, and Rose, the doctor, and Mickey boot scoot out of the underground area and into the TARDIS as the little mannequins revert back to, lifeless mannequins, regular mannequins, ones that you can actually put clothes on. And guess what? That molten vat alien explodes. We also cut back to a traumatized Jackie in the streets looking around as like all these mannequins power down. And you just know that she just wanted a nice stroll out, maybe get some dinner, get some fish and chips. I need like just every story from Jackie's perspective being like, "Oh, what's going on now?"
Where's those Big Finish books? Because I would I would download all of them tonight.
I was just gonna say, where's her audio drama? Just like a stream of consciousness from Jackie.
But y'all, all this happens. The TARDIS materializes into the streets, and Mickey runs out of there like a scaredy cat while Rose calls Jackie just to hear if she's okay before hanging up. Doesn't even say hi to her mom. And then she just checks in on Mickey, but also is like, fat lot of good you were, which I love it. Like, get that man. You save his life, but also you could end his life. And then the doctor tries to brag about the Nestian consciousness being an easy, like, villain to defeat, and Rose calls him useless and that he'd be dead if it wasn't for her. And he's like, you're right. Thank you.
Again, humbling.
Exactly. We love when the doctor is humbled.
Hmm.
And I think the Ninth Doctor does it best sometimes.
I really think Eccleston is one of the most underappreciated doctors I've seen. Because again, there's a few I've not seen in the olden days. But he's one of the most underappreciated because again, he's tasked with like restarting this franchise. He's also tasked with figuring out what the new Doctor's energy is because it sets the tone for the ones who follow to be like, am I going to be similar? What am I going to keep? It's really interesting, and I just love when he gets humbled and when he's sassy, and I love that it happens a lot in this episode.
I know. I love it so much because he's like both funny and genuine and like gives her props. But then the doctor's like, well, I'm off unless you're going to come with me. And it's like, hey, this box will go anywhere in the universe free of charge. And Mickey shouts, don't. He's an alien. He's a thing. And the doctor's like, he's not invited.
Love it here.
I know. And then Rose is like, is it always this dangerous? And he's like, yeah, like, let's do this again. And you know what? She refuses at first, saying she has to look after her mom and Mickey, and the doctor bids her a farewell, and the TARDIS dematerializes in front of her. And she starts taking Mickey back home and walking away, but then you hear the TARDIS again. The doctor has returned and tells Rose that the TARDIS can also travel in time. She turns to Mickey for this fun exchange. Rose, thanks, Mickey. Thanks for what? And Rose is like, exactly. She gives Mickey a little kiss on the cheek and she slow-mo runs to the TARDIS and right into our preview of episode 2, The End of the World. And that is our pilot episode of Doctor Who.
The ending is so good.
Should we bring back like slow-mos and freeze frames?
Yes, please.
100% yes.
What are some thoughts or notes you had about this episode that we haven't touched on just yet? Mine is that I've said this before, but Jackie Tyler is an icon, a legend. This is a Jackie Tyler Stan account. Sharai, we will hook you up
Always.
with some Nine and Rose audio dramas because Jackie's there being an icon.
I love that. I cannot
So
wait.
funny.
I appreciate how the doctor looks normal in this one. I don't know what the story was beforehand, but like the other doctors all look like they're wearing a costume. They're like, I'm eccentric. I need you to
Yeah.
know. And he's just like, you're gonna listen to me and know I'm eccentric. Hold
He
please.
dresses like a butch lesbian with his leather jacket and his Doc Martens and like
Hmm.
a sassy haircut.
But he did like an extra from the L word. And so I'm happy you brought that up because I was like, I've seen this episode. So like I love it. I love how it's so early on. I just love how cheaply it's made and how it's just amazing. Like
It
again,
is. Like, I've been cosplaying the Ninth Doctor my entire life.
You feel seen.
right?
Oh
Representation.
my goodness. Paige, what are some thoughts you had that we haven't really touched on too much?
My main one is that I had forgotten that the doctor mentions the Time War this early on in the very first episode. And I'm like, okay, he's trauma dumping to Rose immediately.
Exactly. The therapist is not in session. We need Nicole Dupree on the case.
Hmm.
Listen,
But y'all, let's get to some behind the scenes things. We'll start off with a fun one. Georgia Moffat, daughter of the fifth Doctor Peter Davidson, auditioned for the part of Rose, and she would later play Jenny, the Doctor's daughter, but also marry the 10th Doctor David Tennant. And she is a great social media follow, like so much fun. Very, we'll just say, correctly politically active, and we love
yes.
to see
Love
it.
that.
She's also the reason I got my favorite like little video clip from a Comic-Con because it was Peter Davison, and it was like David Tennant on the same panel. And a fan is like, "What's the best thing a fan's ever gotten you?" And they started laughing. He's like, "Grandchildren." Like, I guess.
Ah, that's so good.
That is so good. But let's talk about potential names who could have been the Ninth Doctor. Anthony Head, Martin Clunes, Alan Davies, Richard E. Grant, who would later come back and be in some 12th Doctor episodes, Bill Nighy, who came and was on the 11th Doctor, Susie Eddie Izzard, who just icon to legend. Everyone go watch her specials. Here we go. Hugh Grant, who never believed it would actually take off. Shane Ritchie, but he had commitments to EastEnders. And as a recent EastEnders girly, Sharai, I will talk to you about this later. It is on BritBox. I love this for me because his character is very important in the soap opera landscape of being just like hot, cool dude. And
Yes.
then the one
Mm.
that probably almost happened was Alan Cumming, but he didn't want to film in Cardiff for 8 months a year.
That diva.
No, that's okay.
I don't think they would have the chemistry with Billy Piper in the way that we all want the chemistry with Billy Piper.
No, it would
No.
have been a very different doctor. And I kind of am curious to see what that would look like now. We're talking about it.
Okay, but of all those names, who would you want to see as the doctor or have a suggestion? 2005, though, you have to go all the way back in your brain. Anybody from the
Hmm.
list or anybody else?
I just love so many of these because clearly Anthony Head and I go way back because of Buffy.
Hmm.
Richard E.
Yeah.
Grant is just always been that bitch. Like Bill
Another
Nighy,
great social media follow,
right?
Richard E. Grant.
Listen, Bill Nighy's a theater actor, so like, who's gonna give you better Doctor Who than a theater actor? Like, let's just be
Hmm.
honest. We see you, David Tennant, in them.
Yeah.
I again, I think those would be my top three, but also Susie Izzard because I have loved Susie since I was a child who should not been watching her stand up before.
I think Susie is the one I would want.
She would have been funny. She would have been clever. She would have been. She knows how to deliver a line. She doesn't always get to do the best movies, but like it's never her performance that's the problem.
Exactly. And while I love Hugh Grant, I think he would not be great at this.
No, he's not fun
No.
enough. At least not fun in the right way. He's like a more
He's like mean
snarky.
fun.
Yeah,
That's why he's so good as the villain in Paddington 2. He's good as like a comedic villain.
I know, he should have won an Oscar for it.
He should
right.
have.
And Heretic, where he was the
Yes.
supposedly nice man with the pie, but you were like, no, 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 no. That cardigan's a lie, and it was.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I feel like the only person who like softens Hugh Grant on screen is Emma Thompson. And you know
Right.
what? Not everybody's Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson would be a great doctor.
I was gonna say, who was like a British actress that was popular at the time, but not like A-list
Olivia
popular?
Colman, who does show up later on, but she would have been great.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. that I love that Jodie Whittaker's always like, yeah, everyone thought Olivia should be the doctor, and then it's just like Olivia's friend. She always says that about
Mhm.
herself. But no, I would say somebody like, ooh, maybe even Rosamund Pike, because 2005, she was like, it's like post Bond, which I know Bond things now, and but also same year as Pride and Prejudice. So I'm just like, she can do it
Yes.
all. And she's like a fun weirdo. I want to play
I
fire hockey with her.
I only know her from Saltburn because I never watched Gone Girl because there's too many dudes I don't like in it. But
Oh, but you should watch Gone Girl, just her
it's
scenes.
a Missouri movie, so I gotta
You
see it.
should.
That so Gillian Flynn, who wrote the book that is based on, is a Missouri girl who wrote for Entertainment Weekly and then became an author. So like I
Mhm.
feel I want to support her work, but also that's a lot of Ben Affleck, Tyler Perry, and Neil Patrick Harris. Ugh.
I will say it is the best use of Ben Affleck in a film because he plays like dumb Midwest guy.
So
Like,
Yeah.
himself, but from Boston.
exactly. And when I say I do not know a badder bitch that I've ever rooted for, oh, I love Rosamund Pike. She can do everything. Rosamund Pike as the master.
Oh
Oh,
God, yes, yes. I can see it now, and I need it.
1000% yes.
I can
Yes.
see that from her role in I Care a Lot, that Netflix movie.
Yes. Messy movie, but I loved her.
Yeah.
I meant to watch it because of her. Because after Saltburn, I was like, I want to see more of her work, and here we are. I'm gonna fix that.
And then our last fun fact, the Eighth Doctor actor Paul McGann said he would have returned for the regeneration had he been asked, but Russell T Davies later said that he did not want to portray a regeneration on scene. He said it would be confusing.
Mm.
And if you know anything about Paul McGann, he's just like a hottie romantic. I know he only had the TV movie, but he has like 5 bajillion Big Finish audio dramas, and he is also still hot.
Yeah.
He's still very hot. So, like, we were robbed.
I mean, visually, we were robbed. Thirstily, we were robbed. But story wise, it makes sense to just be like, and the doctor's in. Because again, Americans aren't going to get on the internet and be like, "What's this about? This light? This who's this other actor?" They're just like, "This man in leather jacket showed up and said run, and now I'm in." America ruins everything.
Exactly, but also I would say that, like, I guess it's a win for Stephen Moffat because then he got to do all of his 50th anniversary rewrites of everything, and Paul McGann did return for like a small internet webisode special, which was lovely, and he was so hot. If you haven't watched it, I will send you the video.
I was in my Who bag, so I watched all the things. I
Oh
watched
yeah.
everything.
Trust me, it's like 6 minutes or something, and it is hot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I just my doctors.
There's so many hot people on this show. I love it.
Right. It's like a requirement. You can't touch a TARDIS if you're not at least an 8. Like, and I don't know how they get
Mm.
that across legally. I would love to see the casting call.
It's a vibe.
Right.
So, y'all, fantastic first episode. What are some final thoughts before we go on the rest of our TARDIS adventures?
I think this is such a fun, cool situation, especially for millennials, because we missed most of the Star Treks, we missed most of the Star Wars, and so this was our let's reboot a thing for you real quick, because money's always to be made, and it worked, and it also is kind of like the best form of escapism. Like I've not seen this episode in almost a decade, and I think that's wild because I didn't know I was watching it during its 10-year anniversary, and now I'm rewatching it during its 20-year anniversary. So that feels weirdly symmetrical.
Mhm.
And we're going to keep forcing you to watch along with us, Sheree, as we bully
Listen.
you into becoming a co host.
I love that
Exactly.
for everybody. Um, but it was kind of nice to have magic just for us because again, like the other institutions were already set in stone before we were born. And so it was nice that this one was like, let's reboot for the youth. And I know Star Trek has rebooted it so many times, but it's not the same because I don't watch it. There, I said it.
It's in a pocket dimension universe adjacent to Doctor Who. We'll get there. There's fun
Mhm.
stuff as well. Just like I say Star Wars was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, the Doctor just hasn't made it there yet. I think all of
Right.
these are in the same universe. I'm starting conspiracy theories now. Every fandom will hate me.
You're Clive.
I am Clive.
Don't go shopping with your family. Like,
Yeah. Watch out.
Paige, any final thoughts before we boot scoot?
Just that I'm probably gonna say this every episode, but I miss practical effects so much. I miss all the goofy CGI like we talked about the entire episode. It just feels so nostalgic. Even if you didn't watch the show right when it aired, like it still feels so nostalgic for that era of television. Um, and this has just been such a comforting rewatch, and I'm so excited to watch the rest because getting back into this fandom has been such a good escape. Chelsea and I talk about that all the time now.
It felt like putting on cozy PJs with a cup of cocoa. Especially
Yeah.
it's been awful.
I have my cup of tea and my Jodie Whittaker mug right here with
Ah,
us.
love it.
It makes me wish I had the time to do what I did back in 2015 and just like be like, I'm gonna lock the door and I'm gonna just watch all the Doctor Who, and when I'm done, life will be different, hopefully. Like, like yeah.
I agree with everything being said. Being able to disassociate back into the show while the horrors of the world continue, it's been a great comfort to me personally. And I just love that this as an entry episode. I know that, yes, this is the first season and they continue this throughout, but just it's so smart to start the show through the eyes of the companion because that is the viewer who has not seen this show in forever. And we learn along with Rose, and this is just so much fun. I think Billie Piper is fantastic in this. She is so young coming off her little like pop girl diva career and has no right to be as good as she is. And I love her so much. I think Rose is, she gets a lot of crap because, you know, the internet is awful to women, but I think she is the perfect entry point for this show.
She is.
I also love that she used it as a springboard to do like cool, mature stuff like Diary of a Call Girl and Everyone
Yes.
Hates Susie. Is that what it
Yep,
was?
I
Like,
hate
I
Susie.
hate Susie. It's so
it was so
good.
good. So both are so good, and both show her being a little bit older, a little bit more mature.
Sharai, we may or may not be doing excursions on those whenever we're bored in
Yep.
the future. So look out. You might
Come
be on an
back.
excursion.
I love an excursion.
Pick your
I'm a side piece
excursion.
queen. Like,
But yes, Sharai, thank you so much for joining us on today's adventure. Remind the listeners where they can find you, your podcast, and your social medias.
awesome. Thank you for having me. This was fun. You can find me as a person in the world at Miss Sharai on most things. It's sharai.bsky.social on that one though, because they gotta be different. You can find my podcast, A Bloody Massacre, at Bloody Massacre on all the things. And you can find A Nightmare on First Street under A Nightmare on First Street. Some do Nightmare Theories, but if you put it all in, you'll find it. And Gated Podcast, if you like a soap opera. You can find us on Blue Sky and Instagram exclusively because we did not want to be on the other apps.
And if you join the Nightmare Fear Street Patreon, you'll get into the Discord where we talk about everything and scary movies.
The Discord is very much my brain, just going back and forth from room to room, being like, "Oh, new adventure." There's no rhyme or reason some days.
It's so much fun. Everyone, thank you for listening to Across the Whoniverse. We can be found wherever you listen to your podcasts, and please make sure to rate and review our show. You can find us on Instagram, Blue Sky, Tumblr. All the links will be in the show notes, along with links to Sharai stuff, but you can also email us at acrossthewhoniversepod@gmail.com. Paige, remind our fellow Time Lords where they can find you.
I am Thoughts by Paige on Blue Sky, Paige Noel Kaiser on Instagram, and Hey Smithers on Tumblr. I really need to just have a universal username, I'm realizing.
I am Chell725 on Blue Sky, serialized, which is like Letterbox for TV, and then occasionally on Letterbox because I guess some movies are coming out this year, and I've seen a few good ones. And I'm Chelsea Eichels on Instagram. And if you find my Tumblr, you're stronger than a Cyberman. And be sure to join us for our next adventure across space and time as we revisit the end of the world. Thank y'all for listening. We'll see you in the TARDIS next time.